Well, hi, I'm James Brown. I'm here from Lancaster. I generally work in the embedded systems, looking at operating systems and networking and communications in general. But I'm here to present what kind of started off as a hobby system at home to try and secure home automation systems. Okay, so what have we got? So at the moment, there's a whole host of home automation systems being deployed, from wireless thermostats on heating systems, to wireless alarm systems, to baby monitors. They're everywhere. This market is very, very mixed. We have very sophisticated devices, which are secure, reliable, efficient, and very unsophisticated devices, which are really simple, not secure, and nowhere near as efficient. The majority of these devices are kind of come from the cheap end and use proprietary technologies, proprietary protocols. So there's no real standardization in this area. So what are the issues? Because most of the devices come from the cheap side, there generally is no security. So unsolicited messages can be injected into your network. This can be by accident by a neighbour. Some of these systems can just simply overlap, or they can be injected by an attacker or even a prankster who wanted to switch on your lights or you switch off your heating for fun. So what can this happen? This could cause many safety issues, could turn your alarm system off. So you can see there's definitely issues in this area. Retrofitting security onto these existing systems is hard. It's too difficult and often impossible. These systems are deployed, they come from different manufacturers. You have a whole host. In my house, I have about 6 different technologies. You couldn't retrofit security to these. So what did we do? So my approach was to try and do some form of jamming. So basically, if I detect the messages coming in from a source, an unsolicited source, I attempt to jam the message. I try to basically construct a wireless firewall kind of around my systems. So what are the challenges of this? Well, the problem is that when I receive a message, the devices around me have received the message and will act on this. So I have to actually jam that message as it's coming through the air. So basically, I have to detect that message, decode that message, and decide that message needs to be jammed, and then hopefully jam it before the message actually got through. So this is often kind of making decisions on partial messages. Is the first part of the address looks like my network? Should I start jamming? Of course, the more of the packet the more of the message you form a decision on, the more confident you are that you can jam the message, but then you leave less message to jam. Of course, to try to improve the system, we use several jamming devices around the home to hopefully at least one of them will detect the message and jam it. So what does the device look like? So this is the device we constructed. It was developed in-house. It uses a 433 megahertz radio, which a lot of these technologies use. It uses a off-the-shelf commercially available research platform called Z1 to drive the system using an embedded operating system called Kentucky. I created a simple demo board just so I can take around and showcase to different conferences. The demo board just basically has a couple of lights and a couple of power outlets where you can switch things on, switch things off. You can show the attacker, you can show the jammer in action, and basically no messages are getting through. So unfortunately, the system can't provide 100% protection. Some messages will get through. We can try and improve this and intercept more messages by having more jammers or increasing the sophistication of the jamming device. One way would put a larger processor on there, which would hopefully allow you to basically decode messages faster and make a decision faster on whether you jam the message. And there's also other ways of jamming messages. One way would be at the moment we just generate noise, but another one could be to generate kind of an anti-message or try to flip bits to try and minimize the amount of energy you're putting into the air. So those are all the techniques which we're currently investigating. That's my talk.